Hello, my name is Victor Weinsanto from the brand Weinsanto, based in Paris, in France. I launched it with my boyfriend and my family 1.5 years ago. I will present you today my creative process and, of course, who I am. After 2 years at Gautier, for me, the master of the masters, where I learned the incarnation of the cabaret performance of shows which made actually sense to me from my past as a dancer. A format with personalities, performance, artists, and of course different characters that transform the ordinary into extraordinary. The show, theater, cabaret are stronger than a simple fashion show, I think. I used to go every weekend almost to the mythical Manco Cabaret. For me, it was a magical place of infinite festivities where I spent so many weekends and met actually the most outrageous people from, I think, all over the world. This is where I met all my muses, almost, who inspired me back then and will inspire me, of course, today and continue to inspire me. The Manco was actually the meeting place of so many creatives, people, and it nourished and encouraged me to take my first little steps. This universe of cabaret inspired my first collection. My first show, called Couture was really a crash test, and with a lot of luck, and I met Adrian Joffy through one of my best friends, Romain Jean-Campans. And then Adrian graciously gave me the opportunity to sell my line at the Street Market Paris showroom. That was really a step that gave me confidence to continue. I set about really building my brand, learning about commercial development and defining also my DNA, which is obviously a mix between couture and theater techniques, and of course more commercial ready-to-wear pieces. We started actually from almost nothing with a very, very small team, and we set out to work so much, but we still had so much fun on this journey. And working with the best craftspeople has been the key to exchange of the ideas and savoir-faire. Like, for example, with one of my best friends, Claudie Linchet. We met actually at Gautier. She's for me one of the most millionaire. She helped me with my first sketches of hats. I also designed corset with the help of Maxime Blotin, which I think is the best corset maker in France. We even did together a commission from Pierre et Gilles for one of their works of art, which is called Notre-Dame du Corona. And then I began to explore also the accessories with my dear friend Jimmy Beckmer. We created my very first bag in pineapple fiber and in upcycled leather. This Nina bag that you can see here is really geometrical structure and with clean lines, and what I really wanted is that it's transformable from a sexy baguette to a belt pouch. It's really practical, I think, for going out. After my first season at the Street Market Paris showroom, it really allowed me to develop further, to add an extravagant touch of, I think, new crazy shapes like this XXL bag or these diamond-shaped bags, and more also, of course, for the couture pieces. On my third collection, called Les Courtisanes, it's inspired by strong and powerful women, of course, of history, who I think show their own destiny. And I wanted to create a print will be like an homage. After a long research of all portraits, I found portraits free of rights, and I decided to bring this woman into our 21st century, but more in a psychedelic, multicolor print that could represent also a computer buzzing a bug, like a fuzz. This courtesan's print is on the couture pieces as well as ready-to-wear ones because I love so much humor and playfulness through story and telling characters. This hat, for example, came from the idea like of one of the courtesans running through the woods, and I don't know, maybe a head will get stuck in the branches of rose bushes, and yeah, this was it's I always create ideas and stories beyond everything I draw. It's always like one of my big process. The structure of this hat was like making a kite to achieve the idea that it's blowing in the wind and to make it really like the idea or the feeling that it's blowing in the wind, and to make it light we used carbon rods placed between two plastic bones. The bones are then interlaced in the center of the hat, so to hold it in comfortable way. The biggest challenge for Weinsanto is always to combat gravity, but I think it's a good thing. We actually laugh at the studio about this all the time. We always fight gravity. And for me, what is really, really important is to have fun and to have so many different characters. One of the characters is my femme Buisson, I call her. It's like for this fantasy version of this little black dress. I imagined a woman hidden deep in the bushes, like she could emerge into them and become part of the forest actually. The volume is directly upwards, is cut out in bands and ruffled, tulle and applied one by one in stripes every like 0.5 or 1 centimeters, which actually gives at the end, I think, the density, and which also pawns the foliage effect. Like for this one, for example, is another femme fatale. She's a biker, sexy, chic slash Egyptian queen. I imagine her a patterned biker bomber corset dress, and for the love of gargantuesque and opulence, the silhouette is finished with pharaonic big headpiece. Adding also to, for example, on this one, a bit of, I could say, black magic or an enchanting courtesan, but with in a bold print velvet dress with a big headpiece, which is a cross between, I think, turban hat, and all these pieces are embroidered in rhinestones. Also, this courtesan's collection for winter 21 was kind of hard but challenging and good at the same time, because it was made really during COVID lockdown, which posed a new challenge to our brand and to their business, and also to my love of live shows, because I love audience and I love entertainment and fun in live. This corresponded with the first time actually, right in the time where my collection SS21, the first one, hit the stores. This was, I think, really a key moment for me, because we had to grow the business, and without a real défilé fashion show, it's really hard to present to the world a new collection, I thought, but it was the same actually for everyone, so we couldn't complain anyway. But it was good because I hope so. The sales proved, I think, positive, with stores like Nordstrom having rapid sales throughs, or like, for example, Modest picking us and inviting us to do a special event and installation during Fashion Week. And of course to Dover Street Market, who continue to support us. I think we really took the challenge and made a film for Courtisan, which was, I think, well received. Despite my appreciation, the film had a really good, more views than I could thought across social media. And after that, the historic luxury Baccarat house invited me to participate in a collaborative artistic project. That season, we had also installations with Dover Street Market, New York, and in Beijing. Positive reactions and results, I hope. We were so lucky to have for SS22 collection, the Hopla Guys one. This time I wanted really to backtrack my roots, originating from the Alsace region, where I wanted to play also, like, I don't know, on the traditional folkloric and also with the costumes and the colorful architecture. It was also about my childhood souvenir, I guess, like the delicious pretzel I ate all the time when I was a child. Of course, our typical cake called kuglöf. The giant headpieces also, obviously, worn traditionally by the women folk. And of course, to not forget the classic print. It's like the tartan, but it's called cache, used on household linen. I wanted to reinterpreting this code, in my Weinsanto way, of course. I wanted to adapt it in a more fun way, I guess. Here, for example, you have this huge black widow, I call, which took a lot of time, 2 months of preparation. It's an interpretation of the traditional bow. Here you can see also the multiple layers. It became an oversized bow dress in horsehair. Originally, we began to make the piece in hot pink, and after reflection, I opted to do it in black. I think it was more dramatic, it gave more drama effects. And also because I wanted some touch of sexy, so we used also transparency, and I think it gives a little glimpse of her naked body underneath. To create the illusion of volume and also the giant structure, we use carbon rods again, hidden in tubes of horsehair, dissimulated in folds. To wear this big piece, we use a technique called Gabrielle to create lightness. It's used by costume designers in the cabaret scene, and it allows the dancers to move in large and with more ease, but in large outfits, and it gives more freedom to the dancers. It's also an inbuilt helmet, and it holds the entire piece together. Here, for example, you have the print, the Kelch print. It's to be found everywhere in Alsace, in the household linen. It's used in a particle way, with a particular waving. However, we interpreted it and transforming the typical red used by replacing with my fetish colors, which is black and pink. And for the first time, we added a logo. It's used throughout the entire collection, from the couture pieces, the headpieces, to the ready-to-wear pieces. Like this dress, for example, where all the details and workmanship are all, I think, subtle in the back. The dress is corseted and padded. The shape is, I hope, suggestively sensual. The hot dress, this one, is really one of my favorites. It incarnates my love for Strasbourg and from Alsace, where I come from. It's the heart of It's a symbol, I think, typical in so many Alsatian designs and prints, in particular in the architecture of the, for example, of the astronomical clock of the Cathedral de Strasbourg. When I was a child, it always struck me by its magnificence, of course, but also, like, I wanted to use it and use, like, crinoline techniques to give a real form, and I think it reflects well this image of the clock of Strasbourg. For my pièce de résistance, we created a giant whimsical pink bag in the form of the traditional cake, the kouglof, that I always on Saturdays with my grandmother. I think it incorporates the codes and the values of love and spectacular. I always was interested in the challenge of crafting the slices of this cake, and we did it with recycled leather. For the show, I wanted that everyone could understand that it was really kouglof, so the idea was to create a moment where my muse and model, Quintoid, gorged herself in I think, pure moment of pleasure. To say also that yes, fashion can be indulgent and fun, and also what's better than eating a cake during a fashion show. The print was also used in embroidery, and in application, it was created by my illustrator friend Clément Louis. He illustrated the image of the Alsatian that, as I see her today, I think, because she is fierce, she is fearless, and she became also the symbol of the collection. In this finale, she wore the enormous train with her portrait and a piece that was translated into a commercial version that became actually one of the best sellers. Thanks also to Nona Source, because it's where we found it. So it's good. My goals now, I would say, it would be to build a business in France, to continue to support really the French savoir-faire. And I think this LVMH Prize, I believe, will bring opportunities to meeting the experts, and also is a chance, I think, for everyone to continue to promote creativity and fashion throughout the world. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much. Bye.